Good morning, curling fans, and welcome to the final of the Women's 2024 Northern Ontario Playdowns. Today we've got Team McCarville against Team Burns. Rocks have just been thrown. Team Burns is throwing first rocks in the first end. McCarville throwing red, and they will have the hammer in the first end. So we'll cover this game. That's where our camera coverage is. But we'll try to keep you up to date on Sheet B, which has the semifinals, Team Bonnet against the North Bay team of Team Morkington. And they've just gotten underway as well. And so welcome again to the finals of the Women's 2024 Playdowns to represent Northern Ontario at the National Championship, the Scotties. Enjoy the game and give us your comments. Let us know how the streaming's going. It's been better in the last couple of days than earlier in the week. We've got some of the bugs, I think, out of the system. And again, enjoy the curling. From the high school, helping us with this. Lennon, are you a curler?
Not myself.
Lennon's not a curler, but I'll make him part of the telecast today, whether he wants to or not. And maybe he'll learn a little bit about curling, and maybe he'll pick up curling. Maybe? Okay. It's a great sport. You can play it till you're 1 foot in the grave. As we start this telecast off today, too, Justin Murphy's mom, Janet, apparently, if I don't get Justin's name right, she's going to hunt me down. So I think I've got Justin's name correct, and we'll do our best to keep in Janet's good books here. Team Burns would also like to thank one of their sponsors, Milk Up, for being a supporter of their curling endeavors. And so we've got Team Burns throwing a center guard up, touching the center line, and so that rock cannot be removed. Team McCarville's second shot just short of the rings. McCarville's going to come around that center guard. If you haven't been with us all week and tuning in to this final game, the ice has been very quick, about 5+ feet of curl. Most of that finish comes hogline in, and there's a good example right there. A little bit heavier than Team McCarville would want, and they slip to the back of the house. Team Burns now is going to follow that down, trying to keep in front of that tee line. Shots underway. As we get started here, I'll try to do some split times and see what the ice is running like. Good looking shot. Finishes hard. Top 8 foot, just biting the 4 foot and pretty much completely buried. Team McCarville will run this one off. On to second. Kendra Lilly throwing. She's playing second today. Team McCarville alternates in and out of their lineup. Ashley Sipila is taking the alternate position today. They run that rock off, and Team Burns will throw up another guard just off center. Men's final today will be on at 1:30, I believe is our start time. We've got two different times, 1 and 1:30 on a couple of different schedules, and I will confirm that time for everyone. We'll try to stream that game as well this afternoon. Team Burns' shot slides too deep into the house, and McCarville take a run at the Blues. Andrea Kelly's first shot looks like it's over curling and just ticks. And a little rub on the Blues, and she goes through the separation between those two rocks. Team Burns line first, second, two reds in the back of the house. And Team Burns has elected to remove that third shot. Very much looking like a force this first end. Justin's throw on the money. Burns line 3. Doubles available for Team McCarville, and with those corner guards, might be able to spin off that second. She's taking a fair bit of ISO. Going to be playing down weight on this, and the roll looks like what's the priority for them. They've got last shot fronts wide open, and so they think they feel pretty confident that if they are, they can free draw for their single. And this is going to just not quite get enough of a roll. They've probably tucked a little bit of that rock. Yeah, they've edge on edge. Team Burns has to be careful here. If they hit and roll out, those two reds are pretty much a pretty straightforward double, and two could quickly come into play if she doesn't keep her shooter here. Shots underway. She's going to catch all of that rock and sit right there. Nice shot. So Krista McCarville, her first shot coming up. Delivery underway, rock's on its way. Gonna catch half of that rock and a little bit more and roll to center. Team Burns will hit, and looks like a force will be on for the first end on Team McCarville. So for Team Burns, they curled that first end well. Nose hit coming up. Well, Team McCarville, they need to either remove both and stick, or hit and get a little inside roll off of that outside blue to get shot. So mission accomplished for Team Burns. They've got and put the force on Team McCarville. Team McCarville has been fairly dominant this week. Their games, they've got certainly the most experience of any of the teams out on the ice, and they've shown that on the scoreboard. Carville's last shot underway. And she's going to hit this too thick. But no. Oh, nice shot. She hit it probably a little thicker than she wanted, but got just that little spin at the end. And certainly it looks like one for Team McCarville. So they've posted the first score in the first end. Score of 1. Hammer goes back to Team Burns now. Over on sheet B, Team Bonnet, they have taken 1 in the first end. Throwing back towards the glass and started off with the center line guard on the center, so it can't be removed. As I said, we'll try to keep you up to date on what's going on in that game on sheet B. From Team McCarville, a hello from the teams to all their kids: Bella, Kaylin, Ava, Jake, Cohen, Leo, Adley. Each of the teams has 38 minutes of thinking time. Two timeouts per game. Extra ends, if we get to them, 4.5 minutes and an extra timeout. Sarah Potts delivers first rock of the end. And they're throwing it into the house. Top 8 foot. Just biting the 4. Half in 4. Mostly 4. Team Burns will throw up the corner. Oh no, they're throwing into the house. Sorry about that. They have elected to play a clean end, it looks like, this end. Against the experience of the McCarville team, it wouldn't be a surprise to see Team Burns keep the game relatively simple, at least for a couple of ends, as they get used to the ice and the idea of curling and going to the Scotties maybe settles down a bit. Team McCarville hits and rolls over T-line. Now Team Burns has decided to throw the corner up. Rock's not in as good a position as the previous red, and so they've decided it's time to throw the corner up. Once those rocks get behind the T-line, they can't get any better, and so at this level of play, unlike club curling, those rocks that are behind the T-line often become more of a liability than an asset. So Team Burns is throwing up the corner, and they'll look to get 2 in the second end. Anybody you want to say hi to today? Come on, pressure's on. You don't think anybody's watching at home?
Not that I know.
Okay. We need to get more high school students involved in curling.
Yeah.
I think that needs to be one of the goals of, events like this and the streaming, making it available to a broader range of possible participants. As I said, it's a great sport. Curl till you're almost in the grave.
Yeah.
And I've had the good pleasure of being able to curl for 55 years. Yes, 55 years. And I don't curl as well as I used to, but it's a social part that you get to carry on through the entirety of your life. Team McCarville covered up that rock outside 4-foot. Got a couple of long guards. The amount of curl on this ice makes every rock reachable pretty much, but the slide path might be starting to get a little, into the 4-foot might be starting to get covered up a little bit, and that's not, I think, what the good thing there is. Both rocks now are behind T-line, and definitely either a double will be available or a corner onto one of those with a Burns rock, and it'll be a difficult remove for Team McCarville. So Kendra Lilly, she's about to throw her last shot. They're playing out front. Rock coming to rest. Nice shot. Going to cover both of those reds. Team Burns is going to try the slash blue into red. Clean that front up. Got a good chunk of that, and unfortunately doesn't get the second blue to spin. I would hit that a little thinner than she need to make that double run. Team McCarville will throw another guard down there. At some point, Team Burns may have to elect to come around with either the in or the out turn and come down with T-line weight into those two reds. That's out there. It needs to curl a lot. And it's going to hit will it roll over off of that blue enough to, and does, rolls off that blue just enough to tempt that. That's almost attempting, if you don't get it, you tick, tick, and maybe remove both guards. Looks like Team Burns is going to run the blue in. Justin Murphy, her first shot. Looks good. Nice shot. She gets a little roll over and she's on the corner of that red. Those are the kind of shots that change an end. You miss that shot and Team McCarville is in a dominant position. You make that shot, all of a sudden the end has taken a pretty dramatic turn in your favor. They've elected, they're going to follow down and they're going to try to bury on top of that blue that just was raised and in for shot now. Shrink the scoring area and try to force the one back or possibly steal. Andrew Kelly's draw underway here. Line looks good. Starting to make the cut. Very nice shot. She's going to get on the inside and rub and roll that blue off the red. Opens it up. Team Burns now is going to try that run back blue again. Justin Murphy will try to duplicate her previous shot. Shot's underway. It looks like it's going to hit just a little thin and roll out. And Team McCarville, they may elect to be, they look like they're going to remove that blue, hit the red blue, and probably try to roll underneath that that guard just off center. Team Burns has the hammer this end. Hits the red into the blue's gone, the red spills, and unfortunately our camera won't give you the overview of the back of the house. We attempted to get that camera refocused, but the idea of putting a stepladder on the ice at the end of the provincial championships didn't seem like maybe that was such a great idea. So we will have to just utilize what we have for hardware, software, and our technology, and we'll try to describe the best for you how the ends are progressing if you can't see that on the overhead cameras. Over on sheet B, Team Bonnet, they've got a couple of blues welded in the house on top of what's shot red at the back of the forefoot. They're up 1-0 after the first end. Team Burns here's delivery. Sweepers are on it. And she's got a roll, maybe too far, but second shot. We have Joe Cooper in the booth for a moment.
Hello everyone.
Joe's been the driving force behind our bid for this event. Thanks, Joe, for all your work.
No problem. It was an honor.
The ice has been great.
Yeah, all the players are really talking about the ice.
Yeah, I think it was the Little Current Curling Club had the pleasure of playing on this ice earlier in the week. They finished the ice and had it ready for what was the 99th consecutive running of what we have called the Pearson Cup. It's a competition between the Little Current Curling Club and Espanola. And World War I and World War II didn't stop it.
No.
COVID didn't stop it. Right. And so we've had 99 years of continuous play against the Espanola Curling Club. When they didn't have enough curlers in the Second World War, I think we had some German POWs curling.
That's right.
And so we, on Monday night, had the pleasure of curling on this ice, and it was spectacular. Nicest ice I've ever had the pleasure of curling on. So we want to thank the ice makers for their work, and let's get back to our game. Can you get the list of get everybody's name? Just thank them in here. I didn't take it. Sponsor, please. And hit and roll there, and looks like a single in that end. Score is 1-1 now. McCarville has the hammer going into the third. Team Burns lead Laura Masters her first rock. We'll try to get that blue on the center line. That rock can't be touched till later in the end. That change in the rules has made the tick something we don't see nearly as much as we used to see, particularly in the women's game. I know Team Homan out of Ottawa, they perfected that shot. The men followed, and but that rule changes. We've seen less of the tick attempted, as teams are able to put a guard out and not have it moved at all. Team McCarville throws it top 4 foot. It's buried. Team Burns will follow down. One thing as you watch these rocks and the deliveries, the arena ice really requires a little extra rotation to make sure you get a positive release on the rock. And again, it's been wonderful ice to both curl and to watch on. Over on sheet B, we've got the stick out. So we'll see what and how many points are posted on the board on that men's semifinal game. Sarapat's second shot. And it looks like it needs some help to get out. Oh, yeah. I think we want to put a thank you out to the ice makers after having talked about how great the ice is. Tom Leonard from Maple Leaf Ice in Sudbury. Thanks again for all the great work. And Brent from Thunder Bay. Thanks, Brent, for all of your work and the drive, the long drive that you had to put in to be here for this event. And Team Burns, nice shot. Cornered onto that red. Team McCarville will follow it down. Just a little bit more weight, maybe release that blue. Try to get to the inside. Set the angles up for better for them. Going to be close to just get by, and oh, very nice shot. The advantage when those angles are as they just are on that shot, where you've got to get to the inside, dramatically change the advantage to whichever team is able to get those angles on the rocks first. Sarah Guy's second shot. That looks like that is going to just get by with just a little bit too much weight, and slips behind the tee line, just past the Kawasaki logo, and Napa Automotive Allens out of Manitowoc and Little Current. We want to thank Ruben for, again, his support. Kendra Lilly will try to remove this blue rock, her second rock of the end. She's going to have a nose hit. And Team Burns, if they can hit this red and tuck behind that pile of granite out front, the angle on that red might not be able to get two if they get a good roll on this shot. That rock looks like it needs to curl. Here it comes. And they get just a little roll, puts it edge on edge. Takes away the inside roll on that though. McCarville's going to have to hit that center out, and it's going to, it'll either be exposed or maybe get that roll behind that corner. I think they definitely don't want to hit this and leave it open and give Team Burns an opportunity to get in once more. And this tick would be just by. That probably was a better result than ticking that rock. If that had ticked that and rolled over to the W on the Kawasaki, Team Burns would be in a pretty good position. As it is, they're looking like they're going to need to cover that red. There's a multiple combination on the front. We'll see if we can get a overview of whether or not that red rock is going to go into that blue shot if they run those front guards into the house. That looks like it's going to rub just off that, and it did just rub off that front. And unfortunately for Team Burns, the double's set up. And that rock that's being thrown, it could end up in a spot that Team Burns doesn't have a lot of options. Andrea Kelly's going to throw an in-turn takeout on this shot. Throwing pretty good weight. Sweepers are not on it at all. And there they go. She's got a good looking shot here. It's got a piece out, it rolls up. And the angles are not, for Burns, advantageous. She's probably going to elect to pick that red, shot red, out. You can see a third of that rock, it looks like. Down to Skip's rocks here. And they're on it hard all the way down. And it's going to catch that shot red, roll over for second. Burns sitting second and third. Half the rock's exposed. Over on sheet B, Team Bonnet, they have stolen one in the second. They're up 2-0. Again, our men's final is this afternoon. 1:30 is the official time on the schedule. And again, we'll confirm that at some point before the end of the telecast. Looks like McCarville has decided to throw a draw into the house here. Skip's first rock underway. Rock's starting to go hard, and it's just rubs off the front. Weight was good. Team Burns has a decision now. The doubles there, the red will jam on that back blue. But a thin double. It's like they're electing to hit and roll. Krista Burns delivers. She gets pretty much a nose hit. Makes it tough on McCarville to get her too. She's got to catch a piece. Got to catch a piece of the forefoot, so she's going middle outside 12 foot with the out turn and try to catch a piece of the forefoot. Again, we've got about 5 feet of curl on the ice today and throughout the week. Last shot underway. Sweepers are on it. Starts to make its cut. And she rubs and will not get that second shot. So Team Burns has the force on, and it's 2-1 McCarville over Team Burns. Team McCarville at the back, conversing with Rick Lang. We've got both Rick Lang and Al Hackner here, coaching their respective teams. Team McCarville would like to thank the Thunder Bay North Stars Junior A team, MNP Accounting, Stall Irrigation, Hardline, McCartney Dental, Pizza Hut, and Montana's for their sponsorship of their curling season. Team McCarville will throw first this end after taking one in the third. Sarah Potts delivers the rock. And their top 8 foot. Corners up for Team Burns, and McCarville will throw another one out front. Sarah Potts' second shot underway. That rock's sliding a little bit further than they wanted into the house. Team Burns is going to hit the top and try to roll behind that corner. And with down weight, she gets the double but rolls out. McCarville will throw up another center guard. Kendra Lilly's shot, just crossing the hog line. Comes to rest just off the center. Curled a little more, I think, than they would have liked, and Team Burns will come around those two rocks out front. Team Burns thinks this rock's about top 8 foot. It's got lots, it's by that front rock by 3 feet, but watch this thing move. It just dives as it goes into the house and see most of it. Team McCarville will throw a hit on that and roll to the other side. Kendra Lily's second shot. They're on, they're off. It looks good. They've got a nose hit. Team Burns will try to follow suit. Over on sheet B, we've got Team Bonnet. They have taken two. They've stolen two in the third. And they're up 4-0 over Team Workington. Team Burns hits and rolls out to the 12-foot. Andrea Kelly's first shot here. Lots of rotation on that rock, and looks like they've got a nose hit. Little outside roll, just a couple of inches. Team Burns will try the long roll next. Justin Murphy, her first shot. And she's got a nose hit as well. Rock's moving itself higher in the house. That roll's starting to get a little bit easier. First team that manages to get that rock will definitely have the advantage into this end. I think without that roll, it's looking like a blank, but here we've got a corner. Just a corner, and it's a steep roll across. And you can't see it, unfortunately, on the camera, but the red came to rest just behind the tee line, past the first general insignia. So Team Burns has an opportunity now to come down and weld one on top of that rock, and we'll see who's able to gain the advantage on angles and rock position to either score or steal this end. Rock's coming down, lots and lots of room here. That's not going to make it across to the shot rock. They bring it down though, just top button, and McCarville will have to make a play on it. As far as that rock went by, that front red, it's only a rock off of that what was the shot red rock, and so McCarville will come down. Looks like she's taking the control weight hit on that blue with a little roll behind cover. Burns will still have an opportunity. That red rock, if they get the roll behind cover, will probably give Burns an opportunity to draw down to that blue rock again. And there may be a pocket develop depending on what kind of roll comes off of this McCarville shot. Rock gets just a little inside roll and doesn't form that pocket that would have been a potential problem for Team McCarville. Little stagger on those reds, and Team Burns will likely have to push that red back. Can we get an overview on that one just for a second? No, unfortunately, you can't see the second red there. So, again, our apologies on the camera angle there. Team Burns is going to have to push that red rock just a little bit, I think, to get this end open for the possibility of two. We'll always have they've got that in-turn draw available to them on last shot, but if they want to get two, they're going to have to move this red rock back a couple of feet and stay at least partially covered. A little bit bigger roll than they wanted. Rock's exposed, but Team McCarville will have an open hit and a roll. Team Burns will then have the opportunity, open draw, take one. We'll see where this rock ultimately ends up. A nose hit here will make Team Burns' last shot. They'll have to decide. I don't think that a nose hit here, that Team Burns will have an opportunity to hit and be shot. McCarville's shot will just be biting the forefoot if she gets a nose hit here, and then Burns, a subsequent hit won't provide shot rock. So little subtleties of the game certainly are playing out in this end. Yeah, McCarville doesn't want to roll here too far. She's made the draw difficult, though. She's gonna have to draw to the lid, basically. Can probably your little overcurl could rub off and still get shot rock on this shot. See if we can get a split time on this for you. Shot's underway. Last shot of the end. They're on it, off it, which is always encouraging. And I didn't get a split on that. Sorry, folks. And perfect shot. Very nice shot. So our score after 4 ends is 2-2. Lovely shot to end that fourth end. Heading down for the fifth end and the fifth end break. As I said, each team has 38 minutes of thinking time. Clock starts when the one team leaves, relinquishes the house, and the other team takes over the house. Stops as the player throws their rock. Lots of time has been the case for most of the games. We've had a couple of games that have run tight, but everyone's been able to play in the allotted 38 minutes. Nobody wants to see a game end as a result of running out of time, and We've got Team Burns has thrown their first shot on center line. Again, that rock cannot be moved. Team McCarville is going to come around that. Sarah Potts delivers, throwing an in-turn, wanting to come to rest. Top 4 foot, be a little bit higher. Rock goes by that blue by a couple of widths of rock, and it's likely going to find itself buried. Top 8 foot, half 8, 12. A little bit showing out on the in-turn. Team Burns is going to throw an out turn around that center guard. Sweepers are just keeping it clean. I got a split of 14-9 on that hogline to hogline shot, and just biting the top 12 foot. So again, the ice is quick. Sarah Potts' second shot coming up. They're coming around that center guard again. And they've come up short. So Team Burns, they're going to get an opportunity to be first into the house, into the 4 foot. Sarah Guy delivers. She has a lovely delivery. She's well balanced, good extension. Rock's coming down. Looks like we're going to see a little over curl there, and it's going to be onto the corner of that blue. Team McCarville will try to again be the first in on top of the 4 foot there. The stagger on those 2 blues and the 2 longer guards out front look like this is going to be a subtle end that no one's going to peel their way out of a drawing end this end. Rock's looking a little bit light, and it comes up short, and an overlap of the red onto the blue, and we'll try this. Team Burns will try this again. Seconds last shot underway. By the guard, nice. Just does it have enough? And not quite. Again, not enough to bury. Now, Team McCarville with last shot here, peeling that blue it's going into the red. So I don't think that they can do much with that blue rock that was just thrown. They want to run anything out front to stagger on those rocks. Red goes into blue, but the middle blue jams, and I don't think they're going to lose any more than one rock off of this. They could maybe get their shooter to spin, but given how those rocks are placed, they're at the far end, so how close they are. I don't know, can we take a quick overview on the top of that one? Yeah, there's a little separation on those staggered blues, so it'll spin off that second blue into the third blue on the right. But I don't think that middle blue is being removed. I think it stays top 12 foot as it spins off that outside blue. As I said, if they try to do anything with that blue that was just thrown, it's into the red shot rock, so they're having a conversation. They may elect to call a timeout, and they have elected to call a timeout. So Rick Lang has come out to the top of the house, and they're looking at the options here. Again, if we were TSN, we'd have the zoom out and the zoom in, and I'd really like to have the squiggly lines that we could draw. They'd be great, but we couldn't figure that one out. We didn't have the technical capacity for that. No, okay. Team McCarville could throw the out turn draw at it. No, they're electing, it looks like, to hit what they can see on that blue. Kendra Lilly's last shot. Underway. Andrea Kelly's all over top of that, and she's on the red. And we're going to have some granite shuffled around a bit. And red goes into blue, and it gets cornered onto that shot red. So it's like Team Burns will have the in off of on that outside red now is what they're kind of looking at. I think Team Burns has got to be pretty happy with the way this end has developed. They've been able to junk the middle up and not have Team McCarville get a second red buried. Justin Murphy, her shot. She looks like she's going to hit this red just too full and sit right there. Team McCarville's got a wide open hit on this blue, but there's still only going to be line one at the end of this shot. And she clips her red on the way by, and I think we're probably going to see most of that rock from the hack. No, sorry about that, folks. It did got that red just about that red sitting there. So Team Burns, though, will have a chance to bury this rock. Good crowd this morning. Anyone that's out there that's looking for a great way to spend the afternoon, the men's game is on at 1:30. Team Burns just rubs off that front blue. It does a little spin, but I think it'll be mostly exposed. Yes, it's wide open and a hit and a roll here by Team McCarville on Andrea Kelly's last shot. Been a very interesting end. Each team has had a chance to get a rock behind cover, and no one's been able to get that roll, that perfect roll yet. Playing down weight at this, trying to get, and there it goes, and this looks like it's got the roll. And it's got the roll. Just top of the button on the W on Kawasaki, and Team Burns will have another opportunity to get into the house. There's Skip's first shot here. Come down and sit on top of the red and try to reduce the scoring size and maybe get a force on this end. Really needs to be in the house. Doesn't necessarily have to be completely covered, but second shot with the rock half buried will probably force McCarville to come another way in because of the jam possibilities. Line looks pretty good. Rock starting to curl hard. Is she by? She's just by. And she's short. Just needed a couple of feet more weight on that. Team McCarville now is in a position to score multiple points this end. All of a sudden, a 4 becomes a possibility on this end. What looked like either team had a great opportunity to get buried didn't happen for Team Burns, and now Team McCarville, if they get this one buried, even 3/4 buried, Team Burns is going to have a lot of red looking at their last shot. McCarville's first shots in the 5th end underway. I got a 14.25 on that, and that's too deep. So Team Burns will have one last opportunity here. She needs about 3 more feet of weight off of that last shot she threw. I think they'd be happy to get, if they can get second shot on this rock and keep it high, might be able to get the force of 1 on Team McCarville. Mr. Burns' last shot. Rock like looks like she's got lots of space between those guards. And she's going to curl too deep. Going to be back 4 foot, back 8. I don't know whether she's got how much of the rock that McCarville's going to be able to see to get to it. Got 3/4 of the rock. They probably look like they're going to draw for 2. So mission mostly accomplished there for Team Burns. They took away that possibility. That end had a possibility of 4 if McCarville's first came a little shorter and higher in the house. So I think Team Burns will be happy to only give up 2 this end going into the break. (4-1) over on sheet B. Team Warkinen has scored 1 in the 4th, and I see a lot of blue in the house though. So Team Bonnet's got looks like they've got an end developing there that they may be scoring multiple points. Kristen McCarville delivers. She can come down to that back red. Count 2. Rock starting to curl there. Here it comes, and she catches enough of that rock, pushes it back. 2 for the red. So going into the break, 4-2 Team McCarville over Team Burns. Team McCarville certainly was the odds-on favorite, given their experience to be coming out as a representative for Northern Ontario. So Team Burns has put on a good performance this morning. They have held their own against the reigning Northern Ontario representative, and we're looking forward to a finish, the last 5 ends, and the crowning of our Northern Ontario representative for the Scotties. So maybe we'll take a look at some of the comments that we've had. Do you know how to bring the comments up? No? Okay. We'll see if we can bring them up on our phone here.
The instructions how to turn them off.
I can't remember how we're working on the comments. We'll see what if we can answer questions that anybody's got. Okay, we're back. Okay, well, thanks. We've got the comments up, so we'll take some time. We're first going to again take a look on sheet B. Looks like there's going to be multiple points scored on this end. From here, looks like it's 3 for the team out of Thunder Bay Bonnet. Oh, and 4. So that game has been broken open in an 8-1 lead as we take the break. I had the pleasure of timekeeping for Team Workington for several games, and very nice young men. I guess everybody's a young man when you get old like me. They hail from the Port Arthur Curling Club. Trevor Bonnet, their team, Fort William. And we're going to look at some of the chats here. James watching from Timmins. They're cheering for Team McCarville. We've got a lot of Timmins and northern viewers here taking advantage of the streaming. Taking a technical break. Team Bonnet, they'd like to thank their sponsors PDR Contracting, Fountain Tire, Gold Line, Heartbeat Hot Sauce. I think it sounds like they've got a Northern Ontario hot sauce that's going to be expanding beyond Northern Ontario. Summit Pipeline, North Shore Forest Products, and Frequency Audio are the sponsors they'd like to thank. Getting ready to start the 5th end. Team Morgan would also like to thank BioPower. They're a wood pellet producer. And McIver, Scrimshaw, and Nelson, and Calvin Berry Professional Services. Again, all these teams without sponsors, not able to perform and able to make some of these events. So again, we'd like to thank all the sponsors from all the teams and the sponsors associated with putting on the event for their support to make this happen. Yes, and we did mention that Team Burns has been sponsored by the dairy farmers in the Nipissing area with Milk Up. Yes, and Dave McCarville, we did get to the Team Bonnet's sponsorship with the Thunder Bay North Stars. And Dave, thank you yesterday for the comment on our lone dissident on our streaming. Thanks for that. I was talking to your son, and he said, I think that was my dad that probably made that comment. So I think that's probably Dave McCarville that came to the rescue of our fledgling streaming service here. Yeah, those Team McCarville's shirts look like the old Minnesota, for us old folk in the viewing crowd, like the old Minnesota North Stars uniforms. Thanks, Jonathan Wilson, for the nice comments about our streaming. And our tech department is back after a short fifth inning break. Just going through the comments here. We'll get back to the game in a moment here. Okay, I think we've addressed and answered some of the comments. We were able to take a few minutes here. So we're coming back to the glass, homecoming end number 6, back to the glass, 4-2 for Team McCarville. Burns has a couple of off-center corner-ish guards. McCarville's got one top 12, one back 12 in the house. Team Burns looks like this shot's coming up a little bit short. And so it rubs off that red. Right side of the house is wide open. We've got lots of cover on the other side, and Team McCarville will try to get one wrapped around those that granite out front. Kender Lilies. Second shot. Line looks good. By that front by a couple of stone widths, but it's going to slide just past T line. Team Burns outside 8 foot. They're going to throw down to that rock. You can move that a couple of inches. Rock looks like it's got a little bit of curling to do here. Might be a little hot. My split has that looking like it's too much weight. But back onto the back red. But Team McCarville is going to have an opportunity here to wrap another one around there. Keep that in front of the tee line. Andrea Kelly's first shot here. Carl's got that call on top of the 4 foot is where they're looking to place this rock. Line looks good, weight looks good, and just into the 4 foot, fully buried. Team Burns is elected to clear that front off. Be able to lose a couple of those guards. That second red, I don't think it's going to hit that outside red on this peel. Justin Murphy, she removes 2 stones but sits out front, a single blue now covering those reds. McCarville is going to throw another one into the house. maybe just short. That'll be probably at the discretion of the sweepers after the release. Shots underway. Sweepers are calling bump bump. They think it might have a little bit more weight than. Let's see if we got a split on that though. That's should be short. Over 15, so ice again fast. Team Burns debating their options here. We're on to Vice Rocks here. They've got both their time outs remaining. I think everybody's good on time. I didn't get a chance to check how much time each of the teams had used in the first half of the game, but this might be a good time to take a timeout and take a long look at what's going to give you the best results here. McCarville's rock came to rest high enough, the second shot that just was delivered, that Burns, I don't think, can get any better than third shot with any cover. They come down to that shot rock, even cornered onto that shot rock. McCarville would be able to remove it, lose the shooter, but then they could just replace it again. So looks like Team Burns is going to try to run some of the front. They could run that red, hit what they can see, and they can probably come off of the top red and into those reds that are first and second. I think at this stage of the end, trying to make the button available for last shot draw was probably the goal that they're going to shoot for. And this is close, and it's going to just get by. Red removed. They move those rocks a bit. Blue center. There's a lot of rocks out front, but the button's accessible still. McCarville will try to throw it down, probably on top of the 4 foot. Bury it as much as you can. Team Burns then will probably have the run back on that center line blue after McCarville's shot comes to rest. McCarville's first shot underway. Line looks good. Sweepers are on it hard. And it is just by. And just back button. Nice shot. Team Burns will have the couple of options here. They could try to follow that exact same shot down or run the blue into that pile of red. How much weight to throw at that becomes a personal preference. Rock with bigger weights been running very, very straight. Looks like they're going to take that they need to hit that just on the high side. And that'll go into that pile of red. They're going to want to keep their shooter out front there to at least make McCarville's last shot difficult. Thrown a reasonable amount of weight at this, and it's got a long way to curl. There it goes. There it comes. And nice shot. Very nice shot. McCarville will throw one down on top of that, shrink the scoring area, and their goal here is to force the single and get the hammer back into the next end. McCarville's going to want to get that rock around that blue enough that that run back or tap back. I think that Burns will probably try just a tap back on that blue. Rock is starting to curl hard. They got it by, and they're going to rub off of that blue. So, Team Burns, line 1, how do they generate a second point? They just threw that raise on that center blue. They want to attempt a little fade on that, or I think they're just a heavy draw on that as opposed to any kind of takeout weight would be the logical shot. You need to hit that blue just a little on the high side. I think they can get off of those reds and count 2. If they nose the blue, can we go to the overhead on that quickly and see what we've... There we go. We'll get back to the other angle and we'll see where this rock ultimately ends up. Rock's coming down. Needs to curl, but I think it's going to, yeah, not curl enough, and Team Burns is forced to 1. McCarville has the hammer back. Looks like Team Workington has 1 in the books over on sheet B. So 4-3 the score here on our featured game. Team Burns is throwing up the center line guard. Pardon me. Need to get that to center. And it's there, and so that rock cannot be moved. Sandra Potts' first shot. And we're in the 7th end. McCarville has the hammer. $15 on a split on that hog to hog. And so it looks like it'll probably just come top 12 foot. Team Burns goes wide to the wings with an out turn. Laura Masters' second shot. Line looks good. Didn't finish as hard as some of the rocks, but she's on top of the button. Pretty much buried. McCarville's going to come down and tap that one back, it looks like, with the ice that she's given. Again, with the amount of curl on this ice, almost any rock you can get to. Hog line in, the amount of curl is dramatic, and as the weight comes off the rock, it makes a hard turn. Rock starts to make its move. She's got a corner of it, but rolls out into the open. Both rocks behind the tee line. Team Burns is indicating they're going to hit and roll behind that cover. Blue's exposed on the outside, so it's available to Team McCarville with the in turn. I'd like to thank our timekeepers this afternoon, Ray Beaudre, Mary Sutherland, for being here throughout the duration. Again, the volunteers that are part of this have been wonderful to work with. There's been a great commitment of time and energy by everyone. Kendra Lilly shot. Out turn hit. Need a little bit of roll on this. Starting to make its move. Has it got enough to get? And it does. Nice shot. Rock rolls over and partially buried on the corner there. Team Burns will throw the in turn bump on that. Sarah Guy's delivery. And down 2 and frozen 2, that red rock. Nice shot. Team McCarville with last shot will get rid of that center line guard now. Seconds last shot. She's got the blue removed and rolls out to the wings. Mission accomplished. Team Burns will throw another guard out front. Justin Murphy's first shot. Again, I hope I'm getting Justin's name, pronunciation correct. Her mom Janet has promised to hunt me down if I've got it wrong. So nice shot by Justin. She's got a bit of a stagger on those reds. A little bit deeper than they had wanted, but McCarville's going to make a play on the blue, roll over to the right side of the house, be able to keep that red in play. Maybe open this up and have a few reds in the house and look to score multiple points this end. Shot's underway, and she's got a good-looking shot. She's got the blue, moves the red up, rolls over, and picture perfect shot. Beautiful shot. Very interesting end developing here. The potential for McCarville for a big end is starting to look possible. Team Burns is going to need to have their last 4 shots, perfect shots, I think, to stay away from a big end here. Rock is coming to rest, and it's going to just overcurl a little bit. Yeah. Again, it's such great ice that those guards are really difficult shots. As the weight comes off, it look like they're going to cover the rocks you're trying to protect, and then they just move sideways the last 3-4 feet. Andrea Kelly, her last shot coming up here. That blue's exposed. We've thrown a fair bit of weight at this. She's got it spills, but it jams and it hangs around behind the reds. The double stagger on those reds. And blue remains shot. Team Burns now, that end took a significant turn on that shot. Getting to that blue, I don't think McCarville can. That center line blue has taken the in turn down to that blue out of play. So McCarville's got a double tap there, but if Team Burns can get this Skip's first shot around that centerline guard and top 4 foot, and changed pretty dramatically on the turn of that one shot. Shot's underway. Got lots of room by. I'm going to get by a couple of rock widths. And that's deeper than they wanted. T-line. And we'll get a look from the other camera to see whether or not, yeah, it's mostly available. It may be just a little more than edge on edge. So just a controlled takeout weight here. If she gets the roll behind cover, Burns will have another opportunity, though, to come down on top of it. McCarville may want to hit this roll a little to the outside wing and on top of that blue, and maybe get a jam, or at least make Burns throw a weight, she might, as I said, might jam on that back one. McCarville shot here underway. And that looks like that's over. Well, no, it looks good. Looks good. She's got a just on nose hit. That was pretty close to that front blue. It started 2, but the sweepers kept it straight. So Team Burns now will try to replicate that shot. She may throw a little bit less weight than that and try to get just a little bit of an inside roll on that. Rock's underway. It's got some curling to do. There it goes. And it's mostly nose. So Team Burns sitting first, second, McCarville third and fourth. No, actually McCarville is just sitting third, so her last shot here. So Team Burns did a good job on defense that end. They've forced back the 1 onto Team McCarville. And McCarville's got to, not got the easiest shot here. She's got to go through a fairly wide port between that red and that blue rock in the front of the house. Shots underway. Sweepers are on it quickly. Lots of room there, though, as I said. Rock's got a little bit of curling to do. It's a little bit on the hot side, I think. I've got a 14.5, but it's good. Catches the back of the button and a force of 1. So we have a 5-3 game. The difference is that 2 that McCarville took in the 5th. It's been a well-curled game. Both teams have played well. Over on sheet B, handshakes are out, and Team Bonnet, they will advance and play Team Horgan this afternoon at 1:30. Winner will represent Northern Ontario at this year's Brier, sponsored for the first year by Montana Steakhouse. Thank them for taking over the sponsorship for the Brier. (9-2) was the final on that sheet on sheet B for the men's semifinal. Sarah Potts delivers her first rock of the 7th end. Sorry, the 8th end. Nice shot comes to rest just off center line, just biting the 8-foot. Team Burns will look to try to get 2 back this end. As I said, it's been a well-curled game. Team Burns is throwing up guard. The crowd gives the men's team a round of applause as they leave the ice surface. Again, we have that afternoon game at 1:30. We'll be streaming that game live again. See if we can find another color commentary to join our booth up here. Sarah Potts' second shot. Coming down on top of her first. Just short of the rings. Not touching center line. But Team Burns will elect to come around the corner that they've thrown up on their first shot. Laura Masters used the southpaw on the team. So her out turn coming into this shot. Good looking shot. By a rock. Maybe a little bit deeper than they wanted, but pretty good, very nice shot. McCarville will come down and try to corner on top of that blue. They don't want this to over curl. They need to keep a little on the high side on center line to be second shot. Kendra Lily's first shot here. Sweepers are on it. Line looks good. Does it have enough to get to? And just short. So that opportunity came up just a foot short. Team Burns will remove that red front guard and try to roll into the house, I suspect is their goal. They've thrown enough weight at this. This is going to make this shot a little bit more difficult. And a big chunk of that. And yeah, just that little extra weight makes spinning that rock into the house. And it tried to fudge its way back in there, but still in play, but not counting. Kendra Lily's second shot. They're taking a run at the bump. They're red. Onto the blue. They're by. She's got a nice looking shot here. Gets the roll. Top of the button. Buried behind that front red on the 12-foot. Team Burns will take a look for a hit and a roll off of that center line red. Get over to the wings. Kind of a natural looking double here. They've thrown a reasonable amount of weight at that rock. Where they've hit it nice, are they going to get enough of a roll? There we go. Second shot, but wide open for the McCarville team to remove. Andrea Kelly's second shot. That rock, they held that rock nicely, but she's only got a bit of it, but enough to remove it. But she'll roll out, and Team Burns will now have a choice. They can come down to the corner of that red and try and get second, or they can hit and roll. It's a long roll without pretty big weight. The rocks are pretty lively, but it does require, I think this shot's going to take some pretty good weight to get that roll. Now it looks like they're indicating that they're going to throw the draw over to the wings and try to get down and either come around that red or corner onto that red for second shot. They need to get second shot though. That's an absolute on this end. They can get this in for second and make it difficult for the team McCarville. They look like they might be a little bit light. Yeah, the rock is coming to rest short. They gave up on it. They didn't get it into the house. I don't know whether that would have made any difference at the end of this end, but Team McCarville gets an opportunity here to cover that center line guard, and if Team Burns is going to score more than one, it's going to have to be a skips deuce, it looks like. They have 3 shots remaining. Justin Murphy's second shot coming up here. McCarville's got that rock covered. Andrea Kelly's thrown it just short of the rings. Might have a little bit of that red sticking out on the other side. I think Team Burns is going to have to freeze and draw their way to this end if they're going to score 2. Vice's last shot here. We'll be on to Skip Stones next. Rock's underway. Looks a little hot. Timing on that's got it. Yeah, they moved that red to back 8 foot, but blue's exposed. And Team McCarville will have an opportunity to remove it without having to worry about any guards out front. The hit and a roll will stay on top of the tee line, and so that'll make it difficult for Team Burns. McCarville's delivery. Kind of a control weight on this. Rock just gets by. She gets the hit and the roll. And she's lined 3 and top of the button. That's going to be a difficult shot for Team Burns to deal with. A game of inches, in fact, game of less than inches gets played on these ice sheets. You know, the difference between that roll and staying open, it is a wonderful game, and the intricacies of the game and the hits and the rolls and the strategy are all what make this a wonderful game to be able to curl throughout our lives, even as we get old and our skills diminish, we can still enjoy this game. Again, we're hoping that this streaming broadcasting gets picked up by some young possible new curlers, and I hope that again that we can all encourage our youth to pick this game up. It's a wonderful game. The social side of it is truly a wonderful aspect of the game. Team Burns is going to have to drive. She's got a good looking shot. I think she's got this. Just missed. Unfortunately, driving your opponent's rock into the house is never your first choice, and now Blue's hung around on the left side of the, or the right side of the sheet here, depending on how you're looking at that, and McCarville's going to look to choke off, cover and choke off the access for Team Burns to get into the house. Team McCarville is line 3 right now. Sweepers are calling that top 12. And comes up just short of the house. Little over curl there. The red shot rock has partially exposed. Be a third of that rock. But Team McCarville line 3. Team Burns is going to need to push that red back and not roll too far. They're going to have to at least catch a portion of the 4-foot to count 1. The weight's going to be the critical factor on this shot. Enough to push that red back into the 8-foot and hang around for their single. Critical point of the game here for Team Burns. Rock's underway. Looks heavy. But no, here it comes. Not heavy. McCarville steals 1 on that bend. 6-3 the score now. Going into the 9th end. Pop the comments. Let's take a look at the comments, see if we've got any questions that people have asked. To Dan Forrest, we will have a conversation with the ice makers to see if we can move those cameras. I don't know how receptive they might be about taking a stepladder out onto the ice, but we'll make that inquiry and see what we can come up with. Any other questions we've got there on the Dave McCarville? He's been on commenting on the games. Has asked, are we on this afternoon? And yes, we are. 1:30 is the start time for that men's final this afternoon. I'll check to see if the last shot is going to be a draw to the button or whether Team Horgan, as a result of finishing on the A side, gets that last shot advantage. And we'll see if we can get an answer for you on that. And again, we'll see what we can do with those cameras before the start of the men's game. Team McCarville has thrown top of the 4-foot on their first shot. Team Burns has thrown the corner. Sarah Potts' second shot coming up, and they're throwing another one tight. And they're just short of the house, but looks like touching center line. That rock can't be moved. Team Burns will come around their corner. Laura Masters' second shot. Again, the southpaw on the team. So this is her in turn. Oh, this is her out turn, sorry. In turn. And she's just by the guard. This one, as close as that was, it's likely going to overcurl and come out the other side of that corner guard. Team McCarville will throw a takeout on that. Those high guards need to miss the corner guards, the delivered rock, by almost a full rock to be able to, at least a full rock to be able to be covered. As close as that went by, it curled, and as a result, Team McCarville hits, rolls out. We'll be happy just to remove anything blue, probably moving forward into the end. Sarah Guy's first shot here. Again, we'd like to thank some of our sponsors, Jake's Home Center, Moosehead Beer. We'd like to thank them particularly for all their help and support. Northern Ontario Curling Association for their assistance in putting together and supporting our bid. Manitoulin Transport, all the workers that are part of Manitoulin Transport and the Smith family, we'd like to thank them. Ruben Allen from Napa. BrokerLink. We'd like to thank Randy Noble from H&R Noble Construction out of Gore Bay. The Legg family. Manitoulin Chrysler. Don and Mike Wall from the Manitowoc Fresh Mart. Manitowoc Mill and Home Hardware Building Center, Manitowoc. Andrew Orr from Orr's Value Mart. Again, thanks to all our sponsors. Back to the curling, we've got Team Burns is throwing up another corner here. And that looks like that's going to over curl. The blue's exposed. McCarville will take a run at the blue. Looks like she probably doesn't really care if she's indicating that she wants to keep the shooter. Shots underway. Andrea Kelly. She's got this one. He mostly knows. Just half in the 12-foot. Justin Murphy, her shot. Her last. No, her first. Sorry about that. Underway. Looks a little bit hot. And she is sliding out and to the back and through the house. So missed opportunity there. Team McCarville. They're going to throw it in the house, or they might even remove their own red. Yeah, they've elected to remove their own red. That shot's probably not doing them any good sitting where it is. It's only a rock that's going to be of use to the Burns team. Hits, rolls out, mission accomplished. As long as that blue guard is, I don't know whether that's going to be of much use to Team Burns. Their Vice's second shot here. They're going to need to score at least 2 or blank this end. I think those will be their 2, option A and option B here. Try and get around that red. Gets it behind it, but not beside it, and so that again is an accessible rock for Team McCarville. They'll hit that rock. What they don't want to do, though, is have their rock end up in a stagger where Team Burns can get behind some of the McCarville rocks. Now the red's close enough to the button that McCarville will always have just a tap, probably. So Team Burns is slowly running out of rocks this end to try to come up with a deuce. Team McCarville's first. skips rock. You've got a just off the nose hit. No stagger on any of those rocks, and so Team Burns looks like they're going to try to come around those reds and then hope for a McCarville miss and score their two. You really do need to have this shot come at least to get second shot on it. Shots underway. Sweepers say T-line. I think for line, it's going to need it for line. And she looks like she's going to be a little bit short and over curl. That's not a bad spot there either. The other, one of the options would have been to have curled into that pocket to force McCarville's hand at maybe throwing at those blues and getting a jam. So plan B on that makes Team McCarville take a moment to think about where and how they want to deal with this blue. Worst case for Team McCarville is they give up two and have Hammer coming home with the lead by one. Having that extra point, though, up two is a much more comfortable position to be in than that single. I can't see the time clocks, but I think we're probably good on time. Team McCarville's had a couple of games that have come down to not an awful lot of time left, and so I think they're probably keeping an eye on that clock with that in mind. See the coaches for both teams, Rick Lang and Rodney Guy, behind the house there. Team McCarville's last shot. And Team Burns is going to have to promote that red rock, or that blue rock, onto the red rock. The angle that shot, the thrown rock, is going to come off of, looks like Team McCarville's third shot, though, is going to be in a position to outcount Team Burns's thrown rock. So this looks like this is for a single. I don't see, at least from this vantage point up here, that there's any way to get two out of this. The thrown rock's going to roll off of if they need to hit it, they need to get this, got a good looking line on this. and they get enough. This one's close. I think it's red, but blue's got one for sure. I'm pretty sure it's red. I think they're going to kick it, but they may put a stick or the laser actually to these. I think it's worth throwing a measure, and they've asked for a measure. So the official is off to get the old technology, the mechanical measure. They've utilized the laser on the draw to the button on the determination of last rock, but I haven't seen them use that on any of the measurements of rocks during play. As I said, our overhead has it looking like red is second shot there. This will be a big point. The difference between being up by 1 and up by 2 can change an end pretty dramatically. And the officials are pointing to the red. The blue is pushed out. The red was second shot. And so Team Burns, Krista made a very nice shot there, but wasn't able to spin that blue thrown rock in for second shot. And so they score 1 in the 9th. The score coming home 6-4 Team McCarville. So Team Burns they'll want to have this first rock onto that center line, I think, so that Team McCarville can't move it. I don't know if Team McCarville's been throwing the ticks or not as part of their strategy. That rock comes across, catches the center line, and again, that rock cannot be moved. And so Team McCarville will throw their first rock. Sarah Potts' first rock, they'll throw an in-turn into the house. Probably wanting to get it top 4 foot. Nice looking weight. Throw in the middle of the 8 foot, and Team Burns will throw up another. Laura Masters comes out. Might be a little deeper than they wanted it. She's going to catch. She does. She catches the center line. A little bit of stagger on those two. Team McCarville will throw another one into the house, it looks like. Again, those rocks can't be moved currently by Team McCarville. That rule change has made stealing something that is a much more doable. That rock doesn't finish as hard as some of our earlier shots, it looks like. And that rock is exposed. Team Burns they're likely going to ignore taking any red rocks out of play and maybe just try to shuffle things around here a bit. I think I'll try to get a split on this shot. Sarah Guy's first. Not finishing as hard as I might have expected, but here it goes. They get a little rub and on the button. So McCarville now will take the next couple of shots likely from second Kendra Lilly, and she's going to run those blues and clear out the front of the house. As I said, up 6-4. Big weight shot coming up here. And looks like she's got two of them. Spins the two blues off, ticks her red on the way by, moves it a little bit. Red's off on to the side. It's not going to come into play this end, it looks like, and Team Burns will throw up centerline guard again. Mission accomplished. Team McCarville will peel that off. And they'll attempt to slowly run Burns out of rocks. At some point, Krista's got to come into the house. Krista Burns into the house. They're down 2. And so Team McCarville, if they just exchange shots, throw another one out front, hope for a jam. Vice is first, coming down the ice. Line looks good. Three feet out in front of the house. McCarville will peel this off. Andrea Kelly's first. Sweepers are just keeping it clean, and she removes the centerline blue. Team Burns will throw that center line up again. Places second shots here. Nice shot. Team McCarville will again take a run at that. Kendra Lilly's last shot. We'll be on to Vice shots next. Throwing peel weight at that. And catches it fairly thick, but drives it past the shots in the house, rolls off to the wings, and Team Burns down to Skip's shots. They need to steal 2 with 2 shots remaining. They are shot rock. McCarville is second and third. And are you playing and back for the second game this afternoon, or we got a new tech?
Yeah, I'll be back.
You'll be back? Okay, we'll be back.
Yeah.
As I said, we'll be back at 1:30 for the men's game as we wind down this game. Krista Burns' first shot. Out turn. Guard she's throwing. Rock is coming into the house. I missed that as to whether they were playing this or whether... And she just rubs off that red. She, I suspect, was actually trying to come into the house and freeze on top of that blue. But she just rubbed off of that center line red. And that blue's exposed. And a nose hit will drive that onto the shot rock. And that will run Team Burns out of rocks if Krista McCarville can get a nose hit on this blue and make that double. Again, it's been a great game to watch. Teams have curled well. It's been an entertaining game. McCarville's first here, throwing peel weight at that. It's going to catch just nick their front red and come off of and not get the second blue on the way by. McCarville still in a very good position though. She may not have shot rock, but she's got 3 rocks in front of the lone blue. Burns will have to get second shot on this, and McCarville will have a fairly straightforward bump, I think, to get the win. But let's see where the Burns team gets this last shot of theirs. They've played a great game. Congratulations to them. Shots underway, and as I said, they need to be, this looks a little bit hot. They need to be 12 foot. Need to get by that red. They're by, but I think that looks just a little bit hot. And it is. And the gloves come off, and the handshakes and the hugs for a well-curled game. These two teams gave us a wonderful game, and we congratulate both teams on appearing in the finals here. Team Burns, congratulations, and for Team McCarville, congratulations on once again representing Northern Ontario at the Scotties. I'm sure they will be competitive, and hopefully they can bring the Scotties home to Northern Ontario again. And so, curling fans and curlers, will be back here at 1:30 for the men's game. We'll see if we can get that camera adjusted and give everyone a better shot of the overhead into this men's finals this afternoon. Team Horgan will play Team Bonnet, and again, that's at 1:30. You can watch it on live streaming or come down to the Mimi Arena. I'm sure we're going to have a full house this afternoon, so come down early, grab a good seat, and enjoy some curling this afternoon. We will see you, and hopefully you'll hear us later this afternoon. Okay, take care, and we'll talk and see you soon. We're back. We're going to put the far end camera onto the presentation, and again, congratulations to Team McCarville on representing Northern Ontario once again at the Scotties. We'll just leave that over the door.
So on the back of the trophy, this is the lineup of the Heather Houston Rig who won the World Championship, and that includes Sarah's mom and his wife, Lorraine Lang. So extra special for this team today.
Gets very warm.
Congratulations. Are they close enough for all these cameras? We'll present the hearts now. So first up to Coach Rick Lang. Listed alternate Sarah Lang. Need Ashley Sigla. Second, Henry Lilly. Third, and wearing the boots for the first time, Andrew Kelly. And skip, Krista McCarville. Congratulations, we'll grab a quick official photo in a second. I just really, while I have them, I want to acknowledge this host committee who did an absolutely fantastic job. And the ICE team, again, just a fantastic service this week, and I'll let Krista show us say a few words.
First off, thank you so much for the city of Little Current.
The city. We're city.
Years ago, I worked here as events event, so it was exciting to take the 10.5-hour drive from Thunder Bay.
Yeah.
But thank you very much. The crowds have been amazing. Thank you for cheering. Thank you for being here because it actually means a lot to have you in the stands cheering for the teams and just cheering for good shots being made. So thank you for that. Big thank you to the host committee and all the volunteers. We know it takes a lot of time, a lot of effort, a lot of energy. Months and months before this event takes place. So we appreciate it and thank you very much for that. A really big thank you to the ice makers, Brent and Tom. Amazing ice all week. Yes, big round of applause. We always come and play on their ice and love it every single time, so thank you very much for that. Congratulations to Team Burns. I know it's tough being on the other side of the inch, a couple years in a row now for them. So we feel for you, but you guys are an amazing team and keep going because, one day it might be your time to shine here on the provincial stage. So keep playing and keep working really hard. And last but not least, thank you to my team. It's been such an unbelievable year playing a 5-man rotation. It's a little different for us. We went into the year really excited for it, and we've had some challenges, but we've come through them, and we're super excited to be playing together as a 5-man rotation. We're not a 5-man team with an alternate. We are a 5-man rotation team, and we love it, and it's been working for us so far, and we're excited to hopefully bring that Maple Leaf back, next year in Thunder Bay and wear it on our back. Thank you.
Thanks, Chris. Reminder to people that the men's final starts at 1:30 this afternoon. Warm-ups will start about 1 o'clock. Remember also that you can park in the Napa parking lot across the street. So congratulations again to Team McCarville, and we'll see you this afternoon for the men's final. Thank you.